it happens pretty often that when I post a selfie, someone asks me what the tattoo across my chest says. And there's kind of a running joke among people who have tattoos that, it's funny like how often you get asked, well, what's your tattoo? What's your tattoo say? And some people act like they're kind of annoyed by it. And I'm not really annoyed by it. I mean, one, because, I got it tattooed across my chest for everyone to see. I guess it's only natural that people are a little curious about what it is, what it says, what it means. And one of the reasons that it really doesn't bother me when people ask is that I'm always happy to tell the story of what those words mean and why I decided to get them tattooed on my chest, that I would see them basically every time I look in the mirror. The line is, I made a throne for hope to sit. It's from a song called The Last Lost Continent by a band called La Dispute. And the song is over 12 minutes long, and sort of the overarching theme of the song is drawing strength through shared struggles. And in the beginning of the song, the lyricist describes this sort of shapeless entity that is basically eating and gnawing at the people that he loves. And the lyrics are about deconstructing that thing and using the broken pieces of that thing to build hope, to build a place or a throne for hope to sit. And the lyrics are actually pretty violent imagery. When I say he's deconstructing it, he talks about taking the blood and bones of this thing and using spit to make mortar to build this throne for hope to sit on. And that's, it happens in the first minute or so of the song, and in my mind, it's the most powerful line in the song. And I think the lyricist leaves it sort of vague on purpose so people can sort of paint their own meaning and see this thing that they're struggling with, whatever that may be, whether it's anxiety or depression or grief or any number of things that people can struggle with that, we need to work to try and deal with or overcome. And through all the worst parts of my life, this was the song that was on repeat. I've had a really, really bad last couple of days. You can probably hear it in my voice now. I'm kind of on the verge of crying. I've had a really bad last couple of days. And the thing that's frustrating is most of the time when I feel this way, I can point to a thing and say, this bad thing happened, therefore I feel bad. And maybe snuggling or maybe just giving it some time or talking through it, getting things off my chest, like that stuff will make me feel better because I'm dealing with this specific event that happened in my life. I had a really bad day at work. I had a really bad time with a coworker, or I had a really disturbing encounter with a stranger. I'm having money problems, those kinds of things. Like it's a little bit easier for me anyways, when I can point to a thing and say, this is what's got me feeling this way. And I think anyone who deals with depression knows that that's not always the case. Sometimes these feelings just happen. There's nothing that you can do about it. You just feel bad for no reason. It makes it hard to care. It makes really, really simple tasks really difficult to do. I posted the newest episode of the Geetheist Manifesto on Patreon today. I posted on Wednesday every day for the patrons so they get it a day early. It took me 2 hours to do that. I've got to go get a money order so I can pay our rent today. And I've been sitting here in my chair for an hour trying to get the motivation to go do that. Seems like this gigantic, monumental task when it's really just taking a 2-minute drive down the street, getting a money order and taking it into the office so I can pay our rent so we don't get a ridiculous late fee. So I posted a selfie in this group that I'm in, and And I looked at the picture and I noticed my tattoo. And I was reminded of the reason that I got that tattoo. And it's that, we don't always control the circumstances that make us feel the way that we feel. There are some times when there's no amount of positive attitude, there's no amount of positive thinking, there's no like Tony Robbins motivational quote that makes you stop feeling this way. It's work. It's really hard work, and sometimes it's really messy and really dirty, really not pretty, and there's sweat and there's blood and there's tears. But what I try to remember is that I'm worth it. And that it's okay to feel bad. But I deserve to feel good. And it's okay for me to do what I need to do to feel good. And so I look in the mirror at this tattoo and I remember all of the hard work, all of the sweat, and all of the just awful things that I've tried to work through to get to the good place that I am in life. And I am in a good place, despite feeling this way sometimes. Objectively, I'm in a good place in life. I live in a decent apartment with the woman that I love dearly. I have all the best friends and family that I could hope for. I have a podcast that people listen to and care about, and a lot of people who love me. My family's great. My job's kind of boring and meaningless, but I work with great people. I don't hate what I do. I get paid halfway decently for it. Objectively, I'm in a pretty decent position in life, and it's really easy to fall into the trap of feeling bad for feeling bad and thinking that I don't deserve to feel this way because look at how good I have it in life. What's wrong with me that I feel this way? You feel bad for feeling bad, and you feel like you don't deserve to be able to feel however you feel. And instead of trying to work through those feelings and working to feel better, just beat yourself up with guilt over feeling the way that you feel because you don't feel like you have the right. I've really been hesitant to use the word depression because I don't want to be one of those people that throws that word around casually. I don't want to be, because something disappoints me. Oh, I'm so depressed. And, like the people who say like, oh, I don't like dust on my desk, so I'm going to clean it up. Lol, I'm so OCD. I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to make a casual statement about mental illness and appropriate the experiences of others. But what I need to realize is that regardless of how I compare to other people, the way that I'm feeling is valid, and I have the right to feel this way. I have the right to hurt if that's what's going on in life. And I have the right to ask for help, and I have the right to work through it. And I have the right ultimately to be better and do better and feel better. And so I'm going to be spending a lot of time today looking at this tattoo and remembering that song, remembering the reasons why I paid so much money and suffered through so much pain and 2 weeks of healing and all of that to get this tattooed on my chest so I would never forget.